update is here! Old friends return and new base building arrivals have arrived! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome on back to a brand spanking new episode of Last Day Out, or specifically one where we are checking out the latest and greatest update that has just dropped, and that, of course, is going to be taking us to, I mean, you know what, I think it goes without saying, the Forlorn Fair! Star, why'd you just start randomly shooting your scar? Because I don't know if you saw those special little effects popping out of that thing, but we got some special scars, and you might be like, a Star, the fair started a few days ago. What are you doing? Why is it taking you so long? Because this is literally the return of the Forlorn Fair, which we pretty much already covered like everything about. So you know what I wanted to do before we got back into Forlorn Fairland? I wanted to make sure that I had something brand spanking new to show off for y'all within this update video, because instead of just popping back in and doing the same Forlorn Fair stuff that we did last time, we are actually going to be achieving the grand and final prize of the fair. As y'all can see, we are level 29, which means that we are at about one level away from receiving the level 30 reward of the fuel tank, and also a ton of prizes along the freaking way. And we got a little purple card over there and a ton of these tickets, which we can go ahead and whatchamacall claim before we ultimately work our way up towards the fuel tank, which we should easily be able to achieve today. And actually, if we make our way over here, as y'all can see inside of the prize stand, we've got a little bit of room over here to work with, and we've got 9 tickets to go ahead and punch. So let's go ahead and start redeeming a couple of these bad boys. And I'm actually curious, if we do fill this thing up, does it just do the leftovers just start going into our inbox? Because if so, that would be kind of dope. So I'm keeping an eye on my inbox number there, 596. This thing is not quite yet full, so actually we might not even fill it up in time, because there's one free slot. So let's see if we put that in there. And I mean, it's just literally filled to the brim now. Okay. But it does look like, and this is gonna be a great thing for y'all to keep in mind with the Forlorn Fair, especially because with the return of the Forlorn Fair inside of this update, it does seem like it might actually be a reoccurring thing that does continuously return every couple of months. I mean, it's been what, 2-3 months since the last time that it was around, and this is the 4th time it's appeared this year. So if I had to guess, it kind of seems like the Forlorn Fair is gonna be something that we can expect every 3-ish months or so y'all can continue making progress within these things. But yeah, I mean, we got titanium bars and lens out of that last thing that we just popped on open. So actually keeping this full is not a bad idea, because then everything just gets sent into our inbox, but we can only access this while the Forlorn Fair is actually going on. So I don't know if I want to leave this full or not. We'll see about that. But we don't, I definitely want to go and see what requests, what quests our friend Woods over here has in store for us, because Woods is going to be able to, I mean, we're going to be able to get some tickets from doing this, and his little prize that we get out of that box is pretty freaking sweet, because that prize is going to be similar to some of what we are going to be able to get out of this stand right over here, and that is going to be confetti, the most fan-freaking-tastic way of getting points during this, because you put it on some guns, and then when you damage zombies, you get points along the way. And as y'all can see, twice as many points in the laboratory, sewer, police station, etc., just like last time. So like I did say, it is a new update, but all that it primarily did is just, it's the return of an old update. So I don't know if you want to, like, you know, I mean, it is new. This was added into the game. If you don't update the game, this is not going to be accessible. So it is a new update, but I am a little bit bummed out that this is the only thing, but I'm also stoked because we get a chance, I mean, and not just we, but everybody gets a chance to continue progressing, and the sign that they are, you know, making this Forlorn Fair return does make it seem like everybody is going to periodically be able to make progress through this, and hopefully have a good amount of fun that way. Let's go and plop in some of these dolls, which will give us a little bit of points that way, and we got to get our hands on a whole ton of tickets. Oh, we also got to go in and give some bandages to the brawlers, which are going to be right over here. Now, luckily for me, I've got a whole stack of band-aids right over there. Let's go ahead and give those to you, and that's another 1,000 tickets coming our way. Let's go and throw those bandages back inside of our slot. and we are going to keep these in mind. I'm also gonna go and throw on my Kevlar helmet here. I just wanted to start the episode out without it because, I mean, it is unfortunately a pumpkin helmet for the Halloween as well past us, but dude, that's actually another thing. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section down below as well. I really wish this would be such a cool, and I'm not gonna lie, it might be a relatively easy update since a lot of the functionality is already in the game. To kind of, it'd be really cool if you were able to pick and choose what skin you want to apply. So like, you know, I could apply all these skins to everything but the helmet, and then maybe have a different skin or a different outfit apply to the helmet and be able to mix and match a little bit. I think that'd make for some really cool wombo combos and make the outfits that much more dynamic. But okay, little side note over there. We gotta go, and if we want to continue progressing, we really should try to get our hands on a lot of regular, uncommon, and rare coupons. So we are going to go through the hardest one of these challenges with Naomi and Dash, and I know that I should be saving these weapons for, you know, when we are going to one of those zones that give us double points, but we should very comfortably be able to reach level 30 today. So why don't we have a little bit of fun, be a little bit wasteful, it hurts me on the inside a little bit to say that, and just be a little bit extra and use these here while we are doing fair activities, because it's all in the spirit of the Forlorn Fair, you know? I think it matches the vibe, but I would not recommend y'all do this. I would definitely recommend saving these and using them at the laboratory, sewer, police station, farm, bunker, Bravo, any of those places where you will be getting much more bang for your buck. Also, I would recommend, if at all possible, I mean, you really only want to apply these to the best guns that you have, because they're going to do the most damage. The more damage that you do, the more Forlorn Fair points that you get. With the exception, of course, of the pipe, which is a very unique one because this is the only melee weapon, which means this is the only weapon that you can actually sneak attack people with, and it's a great way to ball on a budget with the fair, because long story short, if you get a sneak attack off with the pipe, like, I mean, that's gonna do a lot of freaking damage, and I mean, you're using a melee weapon, so it's something that's gonna be pretty readily available to a lot of players. But all right, now that we've got all of our weapons freaking fared the heck out, why don't we go and make our way over here to Naomi and her friend Dash and enter into a battle, a competition for the ages, where we'll be swarmed by zombies, and I will obliterate all of them, and hopefully 15 band-aids is gonna be enough to get the job done. And hopefully they're out there have an absolutely fan-freaking tastic day. All the most of the variety, they're looking getting better from here on out, whether that be for the video, bring you a smile, bring you a giggle, anything or everything like that, does not matter to me. I'll let enjoy. You can go ahead and make its way into your day today. I'm just cross my fingers and deedly do. That's exactly what that joy do, because nothing else brings a smile on my face like knowing that hopefully I might be able to bring onto yours in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it be some of the goofs and gaffs that we're getting into within the video, or some of the high-octane action we got prescribed for you, courtesy of Dr. Star out here, and all these zombies that we must slay. And if y'all don't know how this event goes, long story short, every time we get a kill, we get a point in that giant counter towards the left. We have to kill 25 zombies. Explicitly, we have to do it, but if Naomi and Dash kills the zombies, I do not believe they get, whatchamacall, I do not believe you get credit, so you're kind of like in a competition against Naomi and Dash in a sense. So you want to make sure to go and get those kills, and obviously the more difficult it is, the harder it gets, but also the better that the prizes are, as you can see from all of these coupons that we have received from that little thing right over there. We still gotta head over to the limestone cliffs at some point, but why don't we go back on over and see if this might be enough to perhaps get us to level 30. Yes, sirree. That is exactly what we were looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for us to claim a much-awaited prize of the fuel tank, which holds 3,000 units of gasoline. Thank you very kindly, and for further notice, as you can see, as you continue playing past when you max it out, you will just continue getting fair coupons into perpetuity. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But, I mean, listen, man, why don't we go and, you know, the fair is back around. Let's have a little bit of fun, and let's try to do this. And okay, I actually got to keep an eye on the turkey and make sure that I know, like, which one that I'm looking at, because I feel like I'm totally going to miss the one with the turkey. It is going to be that one, and I hopefully, he also has, like, the weird tail, so I'll try and remember that maybe that's the turkey that I'm looking for. But okay, it's going to be that guy over there. I've got a pretty good eye on him, as long as he doesn't, like, do any, like, crazy crisscross serpentine patterns. My mouse is definitely hovering. He's like right under me now. Oh yeah, I got you, baby. Unless you run a crazy serpentine maneuver here, I know exactly who you are. You will not be escaping me. Hello, Mr. Green Hat Turkey. And there we got a nice easy peasy little thing done, and we got some more rewards coming our way. And yeah, man, like here's the thing. This is a great thing about the fair, and why you really want to be doing it. Like, even if you don't like max it out right away, like the prizes that you get from collecting, like you get a few special things along the way, obviously. But even just the fair coupons, man, I mean, look at some of the prizes and rewards we've gotten from the fair coupons. You get some really good loot. I mean, that goes without saying. It's pretty freaking sweet. That's really the only way of describing that over there. But let's continue doing some of these festivities. We do have this little maze over here that we have to do. And this one, I mean, just for the sake of showing things off, all that we have to do is make our way towards each of these corridors and activate each of these fireworks without alerting, whatchamacall, some of those giant zombies, because they are going to be, oh, we guacamole, yay, let's barrel roll past you. Woo! Okay, it appears that he actually completely missed me. Love that, and then we're gonna run our way all the way over here. And yeah, once you get all the zombies on you, it's pretty much like a giant game of Ring Around the Rosie. You just wanna keep them off your tail and very far away whenever you do engage with like the fireworks and stuff, because it does take a few seconds to activate these things, but if you are far enough away, they will not be able to get to you in time. And once you launch all of the fireworks, it is, how does one say, GG, no re, baby. No rematches for you, Mad Giants. You have just been pwned, baby, and I'll be collecting some of those tickets. Thank you very kindly. And what else do we have here in terms of the festivities? Obviously, we got to go and do Woodsy's last quest, which we will do. Don't you worry about that. But we also do have a little bit of ball throwing that we got to get done. Hey, Tommy boy, how you doing? Let me just go and collect some balls from that table right over there and plop them into here. And long story short, we've just got to yeet some balls at some zombies. It's very straightforward. You just got to get 200 points. We get 10 points for the front, 20 for the person in the back, and 30 for the other person in the back. And we ideally, I mean, here's the thing, man, that guy in the front kind of does run a lot of interference, but I mean, as long as you hit the freaking guy in the back a few times, actually really like very easy peasy lemon squeezy. I mean, if you miss everything entirely, that's probably not going to be good either, but you know, I'll take what I could get. We're racking up the points. We still got 40 seconds and we're already up to 130 points, so as long as we hit like that fella, I mean, we could just, okay, well, we just completely whipped him over there. No, we actually did hit him, and bang, we hit him again. 200 points, easy peasy, and that is what you do love about the Return of the Forlorn Fair event. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude, most of these things, don't get me wrong, like the Gladiator Arena's a little bit tougher, I will give you that, but like all the other events going on are just easy ways of slowly accumulating points and then getting your hands on those tickets and getting some pretty freaking sweet loot along the way. And yeah, I mean, we can't really battle with him until this place, or we can't do another competition until this place does reset, so that's pretty much, I mean, we've done everything. Oh, another thing that we can do is, of course, throw some food over here into the food stall, and yeah, after that gets processed, we can then go and turn it into our friend Wilson. Is that his name? What's his name? William. Close. It started with a W. And those are going to be some of the points that you can get as well. If y'all want to see, by the way, what the previous weeks look like, again, just be sure to check out some of my previous videos on the Forlorn Fair. If you just look up like Starsnipe, Last Day on Earth, Forlorn Fair in the YouTube search, it should definitely come up to see kind of like us progressing through and showing off the previous weeks, because nothing changes about these stages whenever the Forlorn Fair does come around. These stages do stay the same, but when the Forlorn Fair is around is the time that you are actually able to like actively progress in these things, if that does make sense. But all right, we just got to make our way over to the limestone cliffs at this point and see what goodies we get out of there. Hey, okie dokie, limestone cliffs, you cannot escape me. We're just gonna go and listen, just nice and tidy up, finish up everything that the Forlorn Fair does have to offer for us, and then we'll head back to base and plop this brand new fuel tank down to show that thing off in all of its glory and entirety. And speaking of showing things off in all of their glory and entirety, you know where we're showing off glorious and freaking entire things every single week, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, twitch.tv/Starsnipe, where we're live every single week, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, playing Last Day on Earth, having a ball, having a blast. If you don't know what time that starts in your local time zone, twitch.tv/Starsnipe/schedule, another link near the top of the description will be able to go ahead and help you out. And once you know what time that starts in your own local time zone, that is the same time that we are starting every single week, the same time, the same place, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, with some Last Day on Earth action coming your way, with the face cam on, with the live chat rolling, so y'all can see my face and interact with me live as the stream is going on, hang out with everyone else in the community who is over there in like a giant chat, and it is a freaking ball and a blast, and just overall, I might be biased, the most fan-freaking-tastic way to go ahead and start your weekend off right every single week, same time, same place. Looking forward to seeing some boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, over there for a, I mean, fan-freaking-tastic time, if you ask me. But like I'm saying, I may or may not be biased. We just absolutely crushed that Crusher, but sorry, had to do it to you, Mr. Crusher. And And with that, we should have finished the last of Woodsy's quests, which will get us 150 tickets. And on top of that, once you finish all 3 of his quests, which if you are finishing his quests every single day that you can, you're getting 3,000 tickets. So every 3 days, his quests alone will get you a level up. And then if you're doing other stuff along the way, you'll also be able to level up. And his quests, I mean, y'all saw 2 of them are usually within the fair. And then the 3rd one, you have to venture out and fight usually a bit of a mini boss or just fight a few like special seasonally skinned zombies, but really nothing too crazy. The Forlorn Fair is absolutely a great opportunity to be getting your hands on great loot at a, just kind of while you ball out at a budget, you know, it's pretty freaking sweet. William, my man, I have more tickets for you, my friend. And then if I pop my way over here, now that we have completed all of Woods' quests, we can claim the reward in here, which is going to be some more confetti. And again, the confetti is special because we can apply it to guns and get special effects. The guns with effects stick around after the Forlorn Fair disappears, but the confetti does not. So now that we know that the Forlorn Fair does appear like it's going to be periodically returning every couple of months, I would just say it's probably a good idea to apply this confetti to as many weapons as you can before that does happen, and then you can hold on to those weapons. And I mean, the weapons are very special. Even if you don't use them for getting Forlorn Fair points after the fair's over, it's still pretty cool to have these weapons that do have these like cool special effects. And I do hope that we get to see more weapons that do have these special effects, because I mean, they're just pretty cool, really. That's the only way of putting it. But really quickly also, before we pop on over back home to actually check out what this brand new base building thingy-majig does look like, I would also like to pop over to the farm, which is not yet empty, but I do want to show something off. And here's what I'm going to say as well. If you want to see, like, if you want to know the easiest places to use these things, it is going to be, if you want to like entirely run through a zone, best bang for your buck is going to be the farm and the sewer over at the port laboratory, because out of all the areas where you get bonus points for using these guns, those are going to be the areas where the enemies have the least amount of armor. Because if you look at the list of places that this affects, laboratory, sewer, police station, farm, Bunker Bravo, and the transport hub. Bunker Bravo and transport hub get pretty freaking hard. The laboratory has a lot of armored enemies. Then the police station also does have some armored police enemies. If you're doing all the waves and stuff, you run into like riot zombies and stuff like that. But for the most part, the sewer and the farm don't really have that many armored enemies. And the reason why that matters is look at how many points we get per hit. Like, right, we're getting like 10 tickets, 6 tickets or whatever. But the points that you get are directly correlated to how much damage you do. And that's what I mean, how much damage you do. Not how much damage the gun does, how much damage you do. So you can see when we're fighting raiders that have a little bit more armor, we're getting less points, even though we're using the exact same gun. But when we fight a rotten yokel, we're getting more points. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. You just want to make sure that you use these weapons on the weakest enemies possible. And of course, if you do have the lead pipe, make sure that you are capitalizing on using that for whatchamacallit. I'm actually not going to break that M16 all the way. I do want to save that as a bit of a souvenir. What was I saying? Completely just lost my train of thought. Goodness gracious. Yeah, just make sure that you are fighting the weakest enemies possible. If you have the lead pipe, I mean, if you can, and if you want to be patient about it, find some zombies who have their backs turned to you, sneak up on them, and hit them in the back, and you will get some really good bang for your buck with that. And now, just really quickly, another reason why I want to go ahead and make our way to the farm is that at the end of some of those locations that were like stated here, like laboratory, sewer, police station, you are going to find a special zombie like this ugly floater bloater over here, who's in a bit of a seasonal and festive spirit. And when you kill him, he drops confetti. So another way of getting confetti to continue decking out your guns. And also you want to make sure that you are killing as many like fast biters and just zombies as possible, because these zombies over here, okay, that's a raider. I actually do not want to fight raiders. I'm trying to find as many zombies as possible. I just shot the infected bull. Hopefully you didn't notice. Okay, but there we go. We got some zombies crawling out of this hay bale. We're gonna go and mow them down. None of them dropped anything. That is unfortunate. Let's make sure that that bull does not get too close to us either. We got some zombies crawling out of here. But I was just going to say that you also do want to make sure that you are checking the carcasses and dead bodies of zombies, because that is going to be where you are going to actually be finding those teddy bears. Okay, why is every one of these zones just raiders today, dude? So the raiders aren't going to drop what I'm talking about, but all the zombies are going to be dropping whatchamacallit. they do have a chance at dropping. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of them dropping the like teddy bears, like stuffed teddy bears and stuff that you are able to then turn in over at the fair. Usually I've found that like normals out, like I feel like I haven't really seen rotten yokels or the other like special zone specific zombies drop them as much as like fast biters and more generic zombies, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let's make our way though. But yeah, long story short, I just want to go and show off the like zombie over there that you can find at the end of the zone. Let's make our way back to base and plop this new item down, baby. And here we are back at home where it is time for us to put this brand spanking new item down and start putting it to use. So it does appear like the fuel tank is going to be a 1-by-1 item. I'm not gonna lie. Now, here's the question. Where do we want to put this thing? I kind of want it to live by the garage because I just feel like that like naturally makes sense, but it's a little bit crowded here, so I don't know how well or easily we could make that work, but maybe I have a bit of an idea. Why don't we take the garage and move that bad boy, oh, not that far, maybe just like this far, and then we go and plop this bad boy right there, and voila, it's a little bit more spacious here. I also have all these like random little things, but I might even do like some more reorganizing, but I don't know. I feel like it makes sense to have the gas tank right by the garage, and that is exactly where it is right now, since it's gonna be, you know, I mean, regenerate. I might have to move some of these like engines and generators here because I put them down so they were in the garage, but then I moved the garage, so now they're just completely out of place. But why don't we go and see exactly what this thing looks like? And here you can see the interface for the fuel tank. It is, we can, oh, first off, we gotta go and fuel it. So why don't we go and, hello, roaming zombie. Goodbye, roaming zombie. Why don't we go and take some fuel over here from this chest of ours, and actually, let's take a few stacks, because I'm sure a few stacks are gonna be able to fit. How many stacks, though? I don't know. Actually, why don't we start, instead of starting with stacks of gas tanks, why don't we start with stacks of these fellas here and make sure we just completely empty out all of our water bottles, since those are just less efficient in terms of storage if we're storing them inside of a chest. So we want to store all of this gas in here if at all possible. Let's go and click on pour out, and voila, it is entirely poured out the fuel tank, and here we are able to easily divert fuel from this tank into whatever vehicles we want, including, and dude, okay, I'm not gonna lie, incredibly useful here, including being able to divert fuel into our boat, which is the one vehicle that doesn't actually exist at our base. So you have to go to the harbor or the port, and if you forget to bring gas with you, you might just be out of luck in terms of filling it up. But now you can actually safely fill it up from home, which is kind of sweet. But all right, if we go ahead and pop on over here into our chopper, you can see that we have about that much fuel over there. But once we go pop over here and press that button, there's now a check mark next to the chopper, which means that it has been fueled up. And if it is full on fuel, it will have that check mark. But then if I, let's say, like drive it around just for like a second here, will we be able to like burn through? I just want to burn through like 1% of fuel, just enough so that, whatchamacall, hello, we have like wolves and stuff over here. Oh no, get that guy out of here. I mean, actually, now that I mentioned, I don't know if just driving around like this actually affects fuel. We might need to actually like use it to like travel and stuff. Regardless, I just gotta go and kill this wolf really quickly. But did that like burn any fuel? No, that thing is still completely full. I don't know why I thought that did it, but then I realized, I don't know, I just like don't drive the chopper much now that I mention it. So I suppose that's more actually for traveling. But regardless, yeah, anytime that it's not full, I imagine that check mark will be gone, and we'll just have whatever number we need to use to fill that puppy up with. Whoop-pow, let's fill up the ATV. Whoop-pow, let's fill up the boat. And there we have it, a completely empty fuel tank, or not empty, but completely filled up everything else fuel tank. And this will be a great opportunity for us to go and grab all of these bad boys. And well, I didn't actually get to fit all of them, so I digress. But we can grab most of those bad boys, dump them into there, and I might need to actually find a place to store all of these empty water bottles now that they're no longer holding gas, because it seems to be a little bit excessive. But anyways, I digress on that front as well. Why don't we go and grab a few more stacks of these so we can just make sure that that fuel tank is filled to the absolute brim. And there we have it. It is now at 2,977 out of 3,000. It doesn't really look any different after it gets filled up. It still looks to be like, I mean, pretty much the same item. And if we want to, we can go ahead and like pop it on over and move it over there. Not that that really makes much of a difference, but you know, just so it's like in a bit more of an open area. So I suppose I can show it off in a little more of its glory all on its own. And if we want to, we can also rotate it full however many degrees that we do desire, and then same way we just interact with it, same as we would interact with anything. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the grand prize, the last and final thing that you acquire from working your way through the Forlorn Affair, and ideally something that we'll be able to continue working for every couple of months when ideally the Forlorn Affair continues to make its return. But there you all have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the new update in a nutshell. I mean, the nutshell is it's just the previous Forlorn Affair Stage 3 update, but it's back. And it seems like it might continue returning back. So let me know what y'all think about that, because personally, I mean, I'm a little bit bummed that there's not new content. Y'all know me, I'm a sucker for new content, but it is great to have just events like this making their triumphant return, because any event like the Forlorn Fair that helps players get their hands on loot and items in a great kind of like very efficient way, I personally, you know, am a very big fan of, but I don't know. That's just me. With that said, with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's gonna start bringing an end to this episode of Last Day on Earth. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.